Hey guys, Sean Terra here. What is up? We are going to talk tonight about the 7 steps it takes from going from, 1 to 2 deals a month, a one-man show, and then scaling it up to $100,000 a month, millions of dollars a year in revenue, and doing it in a strategic way with a team of people. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. When I first got started wholesaling houses about 19 years ago, for the longest period of time, I did everything myself. I was a solopreneur, and I did every aspect of the business. I had to figure out and do it myself. But with that, you only can scale to a certain level. You can make about maybe $150,000, $200,000 a year, and hustle. You're working, 6 to 7 days a week. And I got to the point of, doing everything myself that I was like, how do I grow? How do I get to the next level? I was doing all the marketing and advertising. I was pulling the list for direct mail. I was answering the phone as an acquisition person. I was going on appointments and meeting sellers face to face. I was signing contracts. I was opening up escrow. I was handling transaction coordination. I was handling disposition. I was meeting buyers at properties. I was putting lock boxes on doors, and I was cleaning up the house from all the debris as much as I could to make it look as pretty as possible. I had to take all the pictures. I had to upload it to Google, Google Photos. I had to take the link. I had to send the email out. I did pretty much everything when it came to the business. Now, I remember I went to California. I was hanging out with my family for the summer. Everyone in Arizona goes to California, and typically in like June, July, and August. So we were out there, and we rented a beach house out there. And I remember I was sitting on the beach and my kids were hanging out in the sand, and they were playing, and I was on the phone. They're all playing, and I'm on the phone pacing at the back of the beach because I didn't have really good service. And I was putting out fires where the seller didn't want to sign because of whatever reason, and the buyer wanted to have this and that. I had a deal when I was in California. I was back on the beach. I was talking. I had the buyer go in prior to closing and go start ripping the house apart. And they took all the seller's personal property, put it in a dumpster, and then threw it away. Now, I was putting out that fire at the back of the beach while my kids were playing as a one-man show, doing everything myself. So what we want to talk about tonight is what steps does it take to go from that one-man show, doing everything yourself, and scaling it to the next level, scaling it to $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 a month in revenue. Now, come fast forward. Now I have a team, an awesome team of people. They're absolutely amazing. And we do millions and millions and millions of dollars a year in revenue. We have a nationwide wholesaling company. We have leads that come in on an automated basis. We have acquisition teams that are talking to sellers, getting properties under contract. We have a disposition team where we're listing the properties. We're selling the properties retail to retail buyers. We have a transaction coordination team that handles all that. So all this operates. In this past month of October, my daughter got married in Florida, in Rosemary Beach, Florida, and I was literally gone for the entire month. And deals were coming in, revenue was closing, transactions were happening, money was being deposited more. And while I was gone, traveling across the country, hanging out in beautiful Rosemary Beach, work out there for my daughter's wedding was amazing. But here's the important thing: is what I'm going to talk about tonight just isn't about me. Right? It's about sharing specific things that are proven that works for other people as well. So my mission on this call tonight is that I am doing a live 4-week masterclass that I want to invite you to, that's starting on November 17th. And I want to share what we're going to talk about. And we're going to share this 7-step process with you. But I am so confident in this 4-week masterclass that I'm guaranteeing that if for some reason you don't make $50,000 a month by May 31st of 2024. So you go through this masterclass, you implement it, you crush it in 2024. And if you don't make at least $50,000 in a single month by implementing this information that we're talking about, then whatever you signed up for in the masterclass will be free. It'll be refunded to you. That's how confident I am on a mission to take 100 people and help them in 2024 get to $1 million, just like some of these guys right here. Let me show you this. This is Jacob. He worked in he was in Atlanta, Georgia. He was a fix and flipper. Never did really virtual wholesaling before. He got started, followed this 7-step process that I'm going to share with you tonight. And now in 2023, in the third quarter of 2023, he's literally over $2 million in revenue. Absolutely killing it. Jacob from Atlanta, doing awesome. Here's cash $0 to $4 million in less than 12 months following this this system that we're talking about right now. This is Stephen Tyler, 1.56 million third quarter of 2023. Stephen and Taylor. Now they drove for a month across the country from South Carolina all the way over to Southern California, hanging out on the beach out there, which is amazing. So these guys took this same information. They got a land deal actually and closed on it, $1.26 million deal. Absolutely amazing. These guys are brand new. They came in, they applied it, and they went from brand new, not knowing anything about real estate, to over $159,000 in closed revenue. So the bottom line is this works. This is a proven process to go out, the 7-step process. I'm going to go through it with you tonight so you understand how you can go from doing 1-2 deals a month and scale it up to the next level. The first thing we got to do is look at what's called a gap analysis. A gap analysis is looking at a comparison of where you are and where you want to be. So it's a simple question, and the question is this: what are you currently making a month right now, and what that number is? What are you currently making a month, right? And then go, what do you want to make a month? So if you're closing 1 deal a month and you're making 10, 15,000 a month and you want to get to $100,000 a month, right? That is the gap we want to close. You got to do things different from closing 1 or 2 deals a month to getting up to $50,000 a month. So we're going to talk what that steps are involved. Now, if you're brand spanking new, your first mission is to get your first check and then understand that process of getting that first check. Now, what I'm talking about is now after you get that first check, then scaling to the next level and being able to duplicate that and build a business, a viable business that you can produce revenue without your involvement or impact. So here's the 7 steps. We'll go through it real quick, each one of them. So you have to have a daily personal empowerment, a morning ritual that's going to guide you, your vision. It's going to keep you because you're the leader of the organization, right? We have to have a company vision, a freedom foundation blueprint, what that looks like, a scorecard. Scorecard is how you keep score of all your KPIs and your numbers. Hyper growth through marketing and optimization. We want to talk about the marketing rollout, no lead left behind funnel. And then once you get to 7 is more about building your wealth and start building, whether you're going to be in cash flow properties, you're going to buy apartment complexes, mini storage units, and things like that. So when you do that, you get to step number 7. Now you're reinvesting into cash flow assets that produce cash flow without you having to put in any effort, meaning you're doing nothing and it's producing. It could be an Airbnb, a strategic Airbnb in a strategic market that's not getting hit right now. Could be into mini storage. I really like mini storage, or the right apartment complex. I own student housing units. So we don't know each other. I have been married for 27 years, have 2 beautiful daughters. One just got married in Florida right now, in Rosemary Beach, Florida. I got a younger daughter, is 20 years old. Been doing this flipping houses, wholesaling houses now for 19 years. It's transacted well over $300 million in revenue. We're doing on average anywhere from 15 to 25 deals a month nationwide right now or more. We're hiring right now, looking for acquisition reps. Started a podcast back in 2010 that blew up to millions of listeners. Done all sorts of stuff in the real estate space and love it. Here's some of our brands. Own a bunch of apartment complex and stuff like that. So it's a great business. Real estate is absolutely amazing. It's a phenomenal business that you can start from literally scratch and where you are, and you can reinvest and scale it up. Now, I'm going to give you 2 free calculators tonight that I want to share with you on what they are. So the first one here is the sales velocity calculator, and we're going to talk about these numbers. And we're going to talk about, scaling with these numbers and what that looks like. The next one right here is the marketing reinvestment calculator. These are 2 really important calculators we want to talk about as well. So we're going to talk about those and what the impact of those on your business and what those numbers are when we get to that particular step. So the first step we want to get into right here is your personal empowerment, what you're going to do, and we call it a morning ritual. Now, a morning ritual, if you know anything about Tony Robbins, he advocates a morning ritual. I was we talk about this in our mastermind group, and there's a couple there that never have implemented a morning ritual. And he came up to me, he goes, the last event, he's like, my life has completely changed, and it's amazing how much it impacts business, right? Because our energy, we attract what we think about, what we focus on, what we chronically think about, right? And what happens is that we create that vision for a life, and then we attract people, opportunities, and events around us, and it allows business to essentially unfold. It's almost like, it's taking a round, peg and trying to put it into a square hole. And that is like doing business without having a morning ritual. So we talk about a specific morning ritual that is a 30-minute morning ritual that literally will empower you and attract. It will pull your goals toward you. Now, I've done this for years, and it's amazing that I can put a number of what I want to, a number that I want to make annually for the year, and then kind of put it out there. And I follow this morning ritual, and I'm amazed on what comes to me. We have one gentleman that came to one of our events, and he implemented it. He wanted to bring his father to the Super Bowl, and he had no idea, 1, how he could pay for it. 2, if his father would even want to go. Of course he did. But 3, that was such a stretch goal, he didn't even think about it. Well, it's funny, he posted on Facebook that he had 2 tickets. Him and his father had great seats to the Super Bowl that year, and it's all because that he put the intention out, and he literally pulled it toward him. And his story that he was telling of how it came together was just amazing. So the next thing is we're talking about is your company vision, what you guys stand for. Now, first off, you have your core values right there. You have your core focus. And what we do is we use this, and it's called the Vision Traction Organizer. And we got this from the book Traction. I highly recommend it. It's written by Gino Winkman. You can get it on Amazon. Phenomenal book. But the structure of how we do things is based upon the traction model, but it's done for this specific business. But the Vision Traction Organizer literally gets you clear on where you're going, and then you're able to reverse engineer specifically what you have to do. So if you told me you want to make $250,000 a year, I could tell you exactly how many with the certain KPIs. I'm going to actually put it in a spreadsheet here in a second, but how many leads you would need, how many what's your average deal size, how many deals you would have to close per lead, right? What's your closing percentages? If you have those numbers, you can predict what you're going to make when it comes to revenue. You can predict your revenue. Now, if you have an exact plan, you know how many leads you have to get on a monthly basis, you have a very specific focus goal, and to be able to optimize and be able to grow and scale your business to a higher level. And these right here puts it actually in writing in a core plan that you can share with you and your entire team. Now, we talk about something called the Freedom Foundation Blueprint. Let me pull this up for you real quick. But the Freedom Foundation Blueprint is essentially, first off, you start off with you, right? And you're, let me pull this up real quick so I can show you. Just gonna resize it right here. All right, so I'm going to resize this real quick so you can kind of see. So it's your organizational chart. In the organizational chart, it's all the roles and responsibilities. Like you have acquisition, that's a role and responsibility. Transaction coordination, a role and responsibility. You have a CEO role and responsibility, handling all the money and the transaction, creating the vision for the company. A COO is someone that actually gets people to do their jobs and hit their goals on a productive basis. You have a CFO that handles all the books in your QuickBooks and your numbers and your accounting and stuff. Then you have disposition. All that is the organizational chart, and your name is in each one of those sections. Now, check this out. This is my organizational chart right here. So if you look at it, you got the visionary right here. Josh is a COO. I basically, develop revenue streams for the company, marketing channels, build a relationship with capital partners right here. Here's Josh. Then we have Gia. She's a sales manager. Here's our acquisition team that's under Gia right now. Then we have disposition manager. He handles that as well under, and then Liz and Devin, and also under her is Journey, our new hire. Jake handles all the KPI tracking. We have a multifamily acquisition specialist that handles all of our underwriting for multifamily or even any type of commercial type of property. And then we have all of our P&Ls and stuff like that. So this initially what happens is your name is on everything. Your name is on every single spot. But now the question becomes, right, who do you hire first? And how do you pay them? Is it W-2? Is it 1099? What is the structure you pay them? That is all important. That's why I'm doing this 4-week masterclass specifically geared around this. And we talk about, what payroll system do we use? What is the pay structure? We have built out pay structures and comp plans and bonus plans that are highly effective, tested and proven over the last 19 years to motivate someone that they can go out there and crush it. Last month, our top sales guy made $25,000 for the month. Just my sales guy made 25 grand for the month last month. So, I mean, it's a comp plan that works great, and you can make money doing it. All right, so KPIs. KPIs is your scorecard, tracking your scorecard. So let's get into a little bit of numbers and understanding tracking and what that looks like. So I'm going to pull up the just this, and this is what's called the sales velocity calculator. Now, the sales velocity calculator, what it does is the velocity of the amount of leads, opportunities, your closing percentage or leads per deal, your average deal size, the timeline that they close, and then the result, the lift. So what you can do is you can look at your numbers and then what it takes to optimize those numbers to create growth. So let's dive into that real quick and see what that looks like. So first, if right here, let's say someone's generating 100 leads a month. So these are monthly leads. This is an average deal size to say $10,000. Leads per deal. Let's say it takes 40 leads, right, to close a $10,000 deal. 60% closing percentage. So if you sign up 10 deals, you're going to close 6. 4 are going to have title problems. Seller's going to ghost you. There's things are going to happen. You're not going to be able to close it for whatever. You bought it too high or whatever, signed it too high and it couldn't close it. And then the close timeline is, let's call it 50 days. From contract to close takes you on average 50 days. So what does it look to optimize this right here without increasing the amount of leads? So first, what we want to do is optimize the numbers and increase our average deal size, decrease our leads per deal, right? Decrease our closing or increase our closing percentage and decrease the timeline. So before we scale, so someone comes to me, and one of our mastermind members from Syndicate 9 Mastermind came in. He called me and he said, hey, he goes, I'm ready. I'm going to pour it on. I'm going to start hiring people like crazy. I want to crush it. And we talked about his numbers. And you have to have your numbers optimized before you hire. Otherwise, you're going to and have it very detailed tracked. Otherwise, you're going to blow up. And it's not going to work. So you want to have these numbers optimized. Then you can start scaling. You can start adding acquisition reps, then disposition reps, and be able to scale it up. But first off, you got to get the numbers optimized, right? So before we add leads, which is going to add reps, we have to optimize these numbers. So my average deal size right now is $29,800. Let's just see if you go from 10,000 to 29,000, what it looks like. Same exact leads, same exact team members, 2 reps. Let's say it's you, and you're just doing it yourself. 11 closed deals, $326,000 in revenue. You have a 198% increase, $216,000 increase by just optimizing. So the question becomes, right, how do you optimize your average deal size for you and your team? Well, there's specific things you can do to optimize them, and I don't have time on this particular, call to kind of get on all the numbers behind the numbers, but it comes down to using a specific calculator, pivoting, starting low, getting the seller to name the first number first, right? Understanding the retail buyer program, how to sell your property retail, it's pretty critical, and understanding how to solve the magic problem with the seller. There's certain things you can do, and listening to calls and the training is critically important as well. So optimizing that right there, going from 10,000 to 29,000 just puts in your pocket $216,000. Now, this is probably one of the most critical numbers right here, 40 leads per deal. Now, what we're going to do is optimize this leads per deal. This is closing, conversion. This is you're getting leads, but you're converting those leads into contracts. Now, we track not only a company-wide leads per deal, but we track individual reps leads per deal. So if we have a rep that's kind of trending higher on their leads per deal, we're going to pull them in. We're going to listen to their calls, and we're going to work with them on how, what they're doing in their procedure. We have a 4-step procedure to close transactions. Are they diverging? Are they basically not following the 4-step procedure? What are they doing? So let's get into it. So let's look at this. So 40 is on average, 30, 40 for an average rep closing for 40 leads per contract. Now, I'm over here, our number is 23. That's our company-wide number. So same marketing. The only thing we changed was average deal size and leads per deal, and you went from $109,000 to $567,000. You still only have 2 reps. You closed 20 deals, and it's a $450,000 increase. So imagine right now, you're a solopreneur, maybe you're doing a couple deals a month, and then all of a sudden you are able to understand how to get more deals with the same leads, right? And part of it is being able to pivot to a higher number, then you can sell the property retail, and things like that. Little strategic things. It could be seller financing, enable you to do deals like this. The bottom line is you're able to take that number from 40 down to 23. Understanding how to do that with you and your team will put. Imagine last year you made 100. Let's say in 2023 you make 109, and you just made 2 tweaks. Spent no more money on marketing, and you made close to $600,000. And it's just you doing it yourself. You can be a solopreneur and you can still do it. 20 deals is not a lot for a solopreneur, right? So let's get into it. Now, we go back and let's just leave these the same. Let's just say it's 60% closing, not bad, 50 average 50 days to close. We're not going to touch those. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stack. Now that we got some good numbers right here, we're going to stack the leads. We're going to stack these on. So basically what we're talking about right here. Yeah. So if you guys are doing more, it doesn't matter. Let's say you're doing 1 to 2 deals a month. You could be doing 10 to 15, 5 to 10 deals a month. This still applies for people if you're doing 2 million a year, you want to go to 10 million a year, we'll show you exactly how to do it. So here's the thing. We have allocated 20 leads per rep per week, right? And this tells us how many reps we need to handle the amount of leads we're generating on a weekly basis. These are weekly numbers, right? 100 a week, right? And we have 10,000, and we have basically, we need 2 reps to handle 100 leads essentially a week, right? So, yes, 2 reps needed to be able to handle this is 100 my fault. This is 100 leads a month, right? For 2 reps for 100 leads a month. So these are 100 leads a month, or we have 20 leads per rep per week. So these are monthly numbers, not weekly numbers, sorry. So these are monthly numbers. So now let's say you double your amount of leads. Well, now you're doing $1 million a year in revenue. You have 3 reps needed, and you increase just by doubling your marketing or increasing your, say, pay-per-click advertising, your direct mail. Now you went to $1 million a year. Now, someone on here said, this is for more someone doing 1 to 2 deals a month. Yes. Or it could be for someone doing even bigger numbers. So let's go back to this right here. Now you're at $1 million a year. You've done 200 leads a month. Right here, you have 3 reps, and now you increased it just by doing a couple little things to your numbers, right? Which is amazing. Now, let's go up and say you're doing 1,000 leads a month. There we go. See how the numbers scale? You need 12 reps, 191 deals closed. It's a 5,000% increase, right? And now you're at 5.5 million, right? Now you want to do 5,000 leads. Now you got a $30 million business, right? And you need 58 reps. So right now, that's why we're hiring, right? We're continuing to hire. We have reps. I just hired a person this month just to hire because we need more people. Someone full-time that I just hired, so all they can do is just hire, right? That's where I'm at right now, stacking, because our goal in 2024 is get up to 30 to 40 reps doing this business and doing that. And we'll be at $30-40 million a year doing this business with the amount of leads we can do it. So, and I'm talking about running at about a 40% profit margin, which most companies can't even do that, which is amazing. So this is the KPIs. KPIs is critical to your business. If you know them and then you know how to optimize them, you can go out there and crush it. Now, the next thing is now you have a team, and it could be you and one other person, you and someone else or whatever, or you and 10 people or 5 people as your team grows. Strategic meetings every single week. We do weekly meetings, we do monthly meetings, we do quarterly meetings, and we do annual meetings. In each meeting, there's a different agenda that we do, and every meeting is specifically designed to do things like solve problems forever. So if there's an issue, we want to address the issue and solve it forever so it never happens. Imagine having a business where you're eliminating issues every single day. What happens? You're gaining traction and you're growing versus not. For years, I never did meetings. Years, I never tracked numbers. And we had the same problem over and over and over again until we actually physically solved it. Now, the next thing is your marketing rollout. So now you can start stacking. You got your numbers, you got your team, you're working, you're optimizing. Now you stack the leads, and then you go back over here. This creates the leads, right? Now you're stacking the leads on optimized numbers, and we go back over here, right? This is when the marketing rollout comes in. Our 2 main strategies for generating leads on a nationwide basis is pay-per-click advertising and strategic direct mail. Those are the 2 best. We use pay-per-click advertising heavy nationwide basis to find deals in small markets. And then what we'll do is we'll come behind that deal and we'll barrage it with direct mail and we'll pull out. Now we have the avatar of the seller. We have the avatar of the property. We built relationships in that area. We know values in the area. We're going to barrage all the distressed sellers in that particular market, and no one's talking to them. Like Thornville, Ohio, North Charleston, South Carolina. all the like Macon, Georgia, Duluth, Georgia, all these little towns that nobody knows of. We're pulling $50,000, $60,000 deals out and going behind it and barraging it all with more direct mail that's coming right behind it. So to talk to sellers that want to sell, and we already know the market, we have established, we understand what's going on in the area, just close the deal. And now we can use that and help us close additional deals in that market. So the last and final step is the cash flow and building wealth. That's where you are, especially with the current market conditions. I believe, are going into a recession, and I believe we're going to go into a real estate market collapse coming in 2024, 2025, and being prepared, understanding what to look for and the strategies and the type of assets to look for, create cash and build your wholesaling business to create cash flow, stash the cash, and then be able to pounce when the timing is right in the marketplace. And that is coming soon. Probably, I believe, in the next 12 to 24 months, there's going to be an incredible opportunity in real estate, where we're going to be a massive decline in prices. Inventory is going to surge. Layoffs are going to happen. All the tech companies are going to start reporting negative earnings. The market looks resilient right now, but it's almost like we were back in 2007. It was resilient. Brent Bernanke came out and said that there is no problem in the real estate market. The subprime thing is not a big deal. And with a matter of less than 12 months, the market collapsed. So the pundits out there that are saying, oh yeah, there's no problem, real estate's fine, there's no inventory in the market. Well, guess what? It's coming. And it's coming, it's going to come big, and there's going to be a huge opportunity. And if you're positioned right, you know exactly what to do when it comes to here, being able to syndicate specific properties, raise capital on certain properties, whether it be multifamily, might they be, mini storage, love mini storage, or even single family houses, and be able to structure seller financing at the right time. I don't believe in structuring seller financing now in a collapsing market. I would rather do seller financing in an inclining market. Now, I know people that did seller financing right before 2006, 2007, the market dropped out and they were in big trouble. Now, what if the market doesn't drop out? Hey, great, everything's fine. But if it does, I wouldn't want to take that risk. That's a pretty high risk. So the bottom line is, there's some like incredible success stories and stuff like that. If you want to learn more, you can actually go through, there's a link down in the description down there. Like I said, I'm doing a masterclass coming up on June 17th. I'm only inviting a handful of people. It's going to be very focused, and I'm working with those people to build in the next 12 months $1 million a year. We have a milestone of May 31st to hit $50,000 a month, and we're going to talk specifically about these 7 steps and how to crush it and how to go out and build it. So I'm excited about it. I love doing these master classes. I love doing the training. I love meeting people, talking to people. I've been in doing a lot of Zooms with our students across the country and with our mastermind stuff. The market is prime right now. 2024 is going to crush. And if you've been sitting around and you're doing deals yourself and you want to scale it to the next level and you want to hit $1 million a year and you want to build your lifestyle and you want to go out there and crush it and be able to stash some cash so you can invest in the right time and take advantage of the future in the market, then you definitely want to see what we're talking about right here. So if you click the link in the description right here, let me show you. If you click the link in the description right here, click this link right here. What it will do is it'll open up into either an opt-in or open up to this page. And here's my guarantee: if you don't make at least $50,000 by May 31st, 2024, then the entire course is free. You get these 2 free calculators on here. If you go there, you can click on that, and then you can follow the course. We have a ton of information here. We're going to go through over a 5-week live course. And the cool thing is too, not only am I just with you for a 4-week masterclass, I'll get on with you month after month till May, every single month, for a Q&A to check in, almost like an optimization call to work on your numbers, talk through problems, almost like me coaching you through the process. So we're going to do that with the group. That's why we're limiting it only to 100 people. And my mission is take those 100 people in 2024 and help them do $1 million a year in 2024. And this is starting on October 17th, or November 17th, that we're going to start. And I wanted to invite you to be able to do that. So I want to have that live call. So if any of you guys got any questions, you can ask in the chat over here. I would, let me sort of refresh it over here. Well, if you can ask the questions in the chat, or I can press this link right here. And if you do have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them for you. Otherwise, you can reach out to Chelsea and ask any questions, but we'd be happy to do that with you. Okay. So the bottom line is it's going to be a blast, and we're going to go out there and crush it. So again, thank you for your time. You can join up there. Just click the link in the description down there, and we will see you on the 17th. I'm going to put out a ton more information on scaling, how to grow your business, how to go out there and crush it, optimizing numbers, what it takes, and I'm going to put a ton of stuff out about that. So if you are looking to go from a one-man show to scale it, then this is something for you. So hope that helps. Excited for you. This is going to be a great, listen, we want to take, November, December and really hone our skills in what we're doing. And we want to launch in 2024 and go out there and crush it. And this is the perfect time to do it. So thank you for all your time. Take care. God bless.